Uh, hey, Donna, how you doing?
Hello, I'm doing really well, thank you. It's
Well,
been a while.
brilliant, brilliant. So lovely to see you. Yeah, it has been a while. We've got now, for those confused listening to us today, our lovely Gordon is taken very ill, and so our lovely Donna has actually offered to step in, or was invited to step in, and actually jumped in, didn't you, Donna?
I did. You hadn't even got the sentence out of your mouth, Andrew, and I think I was getting excited about it
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
So, yeah, I didn't need much persuading.
And you're not
I'm
new to
happy
the
to say.
show, are you?
So, no, I'm not. I'm not. No, I'm not.
G- g-
Hopefully, I'm not even a little bit more organised. That hasn't happened. Again, I've known about this for best part of 3 or 4 days and
Yeah.
not organised. But
You bailed us out, Donna. You bailed us out. And the thing is, one of the reasons why the first choice was Donna was because everything that Donna ever does with us is always achieved high acclaim. Yeah,
yeah, I am my own target audience as well, so I will do all my own advertising.
brilliant.
There's no need for me to hire a PR. I am my own
You are
PR.
absolutely 100%. So, what's happened? So, I spoke to Gordon. He's absolutely over the moon that it's you. So,
Oh,
that's kind of really cool as well. What we normally do, me and Gordon, is we sit down and we spend about 5 minutes talking about what do we want to cover today. So it might be exam arrangements, or it could be is one of the most popular ones we've had recently is the neurotypical world ready to deal with neurodivergent people. That
oh,
got a little bit of, but
yeah.
we haven't actually discussed anything except Donna said she got lots to say, so that's great.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I have because I've now lived with ADHD since my diagnosis in November.
Right.
There's been times when, to hear me talk, you would think I invented it,
Mm,
world authority now because I have it. But I've got a lot of experience to look back on.
mm,
There was a grieving process. There was quite a powerful grieving process when
mm,
that's why, what could I have done? But do you know what? Just surviving is
mm.
enough.
You made me cry at one point
Oh, did
because
I?
you said, yeah, you said it made me feel sorry for little Donna.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I think in my case as well, because I had a difficult childhood. I mean,
mm,
let's say, I am open. There was abuse,
mm,
and whenever I knew there was something not quite right, but I didn't know what,
mm,
and whenever I sought help for it, professional help, when they heard that word, they stopped looking
mm,
for anything
mm.
else. So
They
it
do.
was a double and compounded with things like menopause and things, because I'm 60 years of age, I went through it's menopause. No, it's not. Or it's because you suffered abuse as a child or trauma or whatever. Nobody ever said what we like at school, Donna. Could you concentrate? Were you always talking? Were you always the one that got into trouble, kicked out for talking? Yes, it was me. So there was all that happening as well. And it was a lot to unpack. It was a lot to unpick and unpack. But anyway, lived with it since November. And now I've got theories that, I've got theories for most things, but there are things that I would like to sort of visit, and get a
Mm,
handle on them.
yeah, yeah. It's interesting because when I had my diagnosis, which was only a few years ago,
Mm.
the I could tell that they were looking for trauma and abuse, and
Yeah.
I purposely
Yeah.
hid it, and
Yeah.
and I hid it because although there were traumatic things going on and
Yeah.
abusive things go on, I knew it was ADHD,
Yeah.
and I didn't want him pulling a stunt on me, you know. And
Yeah.
so,
Had I
yeah,
had that, hindsight,
mm,
yeah, but it wouldn't have changed
no,
anything. I would have
no,
just been, it's important, I've discovered, for me to have a label.
mm,
I know
mm,
a lot of people don't like labels, but I need one because something needs to be labeled to be able to go into a drawer that I can manage.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
that's how I,
Make sense of the world?
make
Yeah,
sense of my
yeah,
life. make sense of, you know, of everything really. I need it to be called something, because if it's under an umbrella, it can be managed. If it can be managed, it can be controlled. If it can, you know, and I've done that with, you know, I've controlled and managed a lot of areas of my life that have, you know, threatened to sort of go into a bit of free fall on occasion.
Yeah, but don't we all? Do you know what I mean? I'm not minimizing what you've just said. I
No.
go, don't we all, you know? And having some kind of order in your life is very helpful from time to time, isn't it?
Yes. I had something said to me that not many people thankfully say, you know, that you meet them. And I haven't gone around broadcasting my diagnosis. I think, you know, a lot of people, well, the people that I have told, you know, they all said, "What, and you didn't know?" Or
Yeah.
they've started laughing.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm amazed. I mean, I tell the story about you getting in touch with me to speak about my granddaughter, and your first words, more or less, on Zoom to me were, "We need to get your diagnosis sorted first, Donna."
Yeah, well,
And I remember saying, "What?"
you were clearly in need, absolutely
Yeah.
100% clearly in need, to the point where I don't know how anyone gets to 58-year-old,
Yes.
you know, and nobody's picked up on this. This happens to me a lot with people, but I don't know what the best word for. We don't like extreme, we don't like severe, such obvious ADHD
Yeah.
or something of that ilk lying undiscovered for all those years is
And to have
incredible.
sat in front of professionals.
Yeah. But the irony is, Donna, exactly the same thing happened to me.
Yeah. Is it
And not
must
only
be?
that, I was the bloody professional.
I know, this is it.
You know,
This is it. We live
as
and learn, don't we?
as a
Every day is a school
professional,
day.
one friend of mine, lovely, lovely friend of mine, she said that was your blind spot.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're very good at doling out advice and, you know, seeing things in others, aren't we? You know, it's
Yeah.
our
Oh,
strength,
yeah.
it's our
Yeah.
superpower. What happened to me recently was I went to rugby nighter,
Oh,
and
yeah.
as you know, and I was talking to a friend who, you know, the very nature of, you know, we don't see our friends very often. Well, what's been happening, Donna? You know, I said, actually, you know, I've had a bit of interesting couple of years, you know, and I've had a diagnosis of ADHD. And she went, "Well, we've all got some ADHD in
Oh,
us." And I
yeah.
went, "Stop right
No.
there.
Yeah.
Stop right there."
So it's interesting you say that because, right, this is a in my mind everything connects, right?
Yes.
So I've got to start at the beginning, so I'm really sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So
it's all right.
point one, Richard Serling, the Northern Soul DJ, was on the radio being interviewed by somebody, and they were talking about when the Proms did a Northern Soul night. Did you see that?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Right. And you know what he said? He said he felt like something had been stolen from him. And I felt the same. It
Yeah.
wasn't, it wasn't, that wasn't our Northern Soul. That was
No.
Northern Soul polished up for the
It was
masses.
BBC. It was
Yeah.
prommed. It
And it was,
was,
it
yeah.
was so people could go, "Oh, look, that's Northern Soul.
Yes.
Look, darling, look at their dance and stuff like
Well,
that."
what are they wriggling about?
Yeah.
Their baggy trousers.
Yeah.
What are they?
And so, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And so, and wasn't that a 70s thing? And I felt, yeah, you've nailed it, Richard. I've had it stolen off me as well. Now,
Yes.
at the moment, this is a thing, right? And I have to be cautious saying this online, but I'm not going to be.
No, don't be cautious.
All of these diagnoses that are flying about at the moment, it is great because basically people are being discovered and found and helped and supported, and it's great. But there's also that question of some people are saying, is it a fashion thing? Is it a trendy thing? Is it this, that, and the other? And there was, again, on Radio 4, another plug for the BBC, somebody said, not everyone who loses their keys has got ADHD.
Yes.
And do you know what? And that resonated with me. And I thought, that's it. Because just like Richard Serling felt had his Northern Soul stolen off him, some of these diagnoses I'm seeing, and only some,
Yeah.
majority are legitimate, some of them I'm going, I feel like because my life has been so hard
Mm.
that you've stolen something off me.
Mm.
You've
Yeah.
stolen my identity.
Yeah.
You've actually taken my ADHD off me, and you've made people like your friend going, everybody's got ADHD,
Yeah.
and they're kind of almost right these days, but it's not right, I know, but
No, it isn't. I mean, it is a real. It's a real question, and I'm sure it can be. The incidence, or is it because we are so aware?
don't
I
know.
mean, there was always the naughty kids in the
Mm,
it was in the single figures in every class now,
yeah,
and now it's more. Is it I know that diagnosis isn't taken lightly at
no,
all,
absolutely
at
not.
all. And that's
Absolutely
what
not.
I'm afraid of, that people think that anybody can go to the doctors and get what are controlled drugs for ADHD by conning them. And
Yeah.
that is my big worry.
Not
That
only
is my
that,
big worry.
and I'm a big supporter of self-diagnosis, but anybody can walk down
Yes.
the street and say I'm ADHD. And that's, so that's kind of like, and I think of you, yeah, and I think of myself,
Yeah.
and I think of the wonderful Stevie, and all these lovely, lovely people that are real ADHD people, yeah. I mean, all three of us are mad as teapots.
Oh, absolutely. Mad as a hat full of frogs. And,
Yeah,
wouldn't have it any other way. Would
no,
not have it any other way.
I,
Absolutely.
yeah, I suppose. I mean, did Stevie tell you I've had ADHD burnout for a few weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I met her today.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know
And if
that. I've
she's
seen the
listening,
photos.
I
Yeah,
know. We were
took my
having our
phone.
nails done together. And
Yeah,
it was so lovely because my daughter's opened a nail.
yeah,
She
yeah.
rents a chair in a salon in
Tell me,
Borough.
has the nail shop got an address, Donna?
It's right. Hang on a second.
It's in
Yeah,
Burglar Marsh, isn't it?
it's in Burley Marsh.
Burley
Yeah.
Marsh, yeah.
And it's called, well, she is Agia Nails, Agia, but she rents a chair in a salon in Burley Marsh.
Right,
And I am going to tell you what it is when I work my phone.
right.
But it's in Borough and it's newly open, so I will give
Okay,
it to you.
brilliant. We got to get that out there, haven't we?
And we really have. Do you know?
Yeah,
I mean, again, she is undiagnosed ADHD,
yeah,
and she struggles because I believe she's on the spectrum as well.
yeah.
But she broke her ankle very briefly. For the story, she broke her ankle in February. She did a number on her ankle. She had a very young child. She was
Mm,
on mat leave. She had a young baby, and she had a lot of spare time on her hands. So she taught herself how to do nails online,
mm.
and she just rented a chair. She had her first business day yesterday.
That's
Doing all right.
absolutely brilliant.
Smashing.
Absolutely superb.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
meanwhile, back at the go-go.
Right. So your ADHD burnout then?
Oh, I can't. Well, it started. It started with this that thing I was telling you about prior to going live,
Yeah.
which we don't need to talk about now.
No.
But I've got a bit of a dilemma. It's quite a heavy dilemma,
Yeah.
and although part of me goes, it might be a nothing dilemma. It might be one of those. Actually, yeah, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? We don't know.
No. I'm sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure. But yeah.
And so what that does is then it escalates, and we know that ADHD people escalate. Now there are three types of meltdown. There's the meltdown, there's the shutdown,
Yeah.
and then there's the burnout. The meltdown, we know what a meltdown looks like.
Yeah.
The shutdown is just tired, can't be bothered, can't get up, and the burnout is can take weeks. And
Yeah.
it's been taking weeks and it's absolutely nailed me. But what and I know, and any ADHD and autistic person out there
Mm.
knows about the burnout or whatever, we're all the same people underneath it. And I'm one of those people that will not stop. I'm a pusher. I'm not a preaching man, but I was born to work
Yeah.
and I'm
I
a
know.
working
I
man
know.
and
I
I
know.
will go, go, go. So, we did
But what
the,
makes you stop, though? Are you going to self-govern and make yourself stop
no,
because you
no,
know that you're
won't
going to burn
happen.
out, or will you literally
Keep
have to
going.
stop because you are?
No,
And what precautions are you taking?
none. And those two things won't happen. I'll just keep going till it comes back normal. That's what happened. I had 500 delegates in front of me at the autism show,
Mm,
which Stevie was at. She came did she go on the Friday? I think she came and saw me talk. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, she did, in fact. And I had 500 people, and I told them, and I said,
Good.
look, I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
smack in the middle of burnout at the moment, and it was so interesting, Donna. All these lovely, beautiful ADHD people coming up, giving me hugs, patting me on the back. Really sorry, because they bloody know.
Oh, we've been, yeah, yeah,
They
we've been
know.
there.
Yeah,
We've been
they
there,
have.
darling. We've been there. And, this is one of the things that, getting back to the conversation that I was
Yeah,
telling you about, a friend,
yeah.
oh, we've all got ADHD. And I went, no.
No,
I said, what the diagnosis has given me is that it gives me, I can fly, I can have my superpowers.
yeah,
We
yeah,
all know that. It's given me the ability to handle the burnouts, to
yeah.
handle
Oh,
the
yeah,
crashes, to
yeah,
handle the
yeah,
shutdowns, to handle just the meltdowns, because I know what it is. It's not the end of my life.
yeah.
I haven't got to walk into the sea and get the police out, or
No,
sorry.
it's all right.
You
Keep it
know,
real. Yeah,
ADHD.
exactly, exactly. And
And you don't do that, lady, and that means you're not ADHD,
no,
and that means we're not all ADHD.
I do wonder. So I did a TED talk, as you know, about superpowers,
Right?
and I really, really regret it now because
Yeah.
I'm starting to not believe in the superpowers. I'm starting to go, actually, it's not superpowers. I have skills and attributes in other ways, in other areas, I've got all that. But what I don't have is
Well,
superpowers. They're
no,
not
they're not
superpowers.
superpowers.
It's a
It's
metaphor, right?
it is a metaphor, yeah. But in any given situation, if I was in a team of people, I would bet my last dollar on the people that are coming forward. The strongest
Mm,
team members are ADHD, or
yeah,
some sort of
yeah,
ND, neurodiverse, or whatever,
yeah.
because they're the ones that step forward and have the strength. They have
Well,
the
they're
resilience.
they're certainly the most trustworthy people.
Yeah. Well,
I
yeah.
mean, you look
Your fault.
around, I mean, the people I like, you can count on one hand,
Mm.
maybe
Yeah.
two. And
Yeah.
those people, if you think it's you, it's Stevie, it's your husband, who we know's not neurodivergent one little bit. And we should I have said that? Probably not.
Oh, we know. Do you know what his new thing is? Because now
Yeah,
he's still
yeah,
calling it an illness.
right.
And he'll say to me, our brains are very different, Donna. I think in boxers, you're a scatterbrain.
Yeah, right.
And that's his understanding of it.
But
And it's
these are
enough.
the people. I trust these people. I absolutely trust these people. You have no idea, right? On the autism ADHD show, they call it now. We're in London. We're in the beautiful design centre. Absolutely great. My friend Rebecca's due to speak. I spoke twice. Rebecca, she got stuck on the train. The train overheated and she couldn't get there. She was due on in like literally 20 minutes. I went to the organisers and said, look, I don't know if you know this, but Rebecca's one of my absolute best friends. I know her work upside down, inside out, and backwards. I
Yeah.
said, if you want me to step up for her, I don't know what she's planning to talk about, but I can guarantee you a really good Rebecca talk. Yeah.
Oh, bless you.
And they were like, oh, that's great. Yeah, yeah, brilliant. We can do that. Anyway, she arrived on time. But the big point was seeing her, giving her a hug. We're both sweaty as anything because it's
Ah,
boiling hot, and just giving her a hug was the most joyous, joyous experience. And I've just sent a message to Stevie because she sent me a picture of you two, and I said, "You two look joyous."
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's
We did. Well, what happened? I mean, it was gonna. Alice didn't know how much she would need for a nail appointment, so I
mm,
said, "Well, crack on with mine. And if Stevie comes a bit early and I finished a bit early, we'll have time to chat before." But I was going to be like loads early, so there was a little antique shop open
mm,
opposite, and I
mm.
went, I thought, oh, records, as I
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
I'll just go and have a look, see if there's any records. Meanwhile, Stevie's walked in expecting me to see me there. So it was sort of a soft opening, really, because,
yeah,
she got sat down, and
yeah,
then I went in because I was so aware that I might totally overpower. Knock her over, bear hug her, rugby tackle her, really inappropriate
stuff,
hug to her. Oh, get cuddled. And it didn't happen because she was having her nails done, so it worked out really well.
Oh, that's soft
And
entries.
it was lovely. It was instant affinity, absolutely instant. Interrupting each other, finishing each other's sentences. I know all about her.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic, isn't it?
It was
And
wonderful.
that is that connection, just like me and Rebecca, it is that
Yeah.
connection. And there were 2 or 3 people at the show that it was like, oh wow, I've got one friend, her name's Bridget, and she is absolutely head to toe tattoos, and she's I don't know if she's ADHD. I think she probably is. She seems like it to me, but she's fabulous, and she's just so fabulous.
You have to get through that first. I mean, we know that there are people,
Yeah,
that have you ever actually assumed that somebody is diagnosed ADHD and then has no idea
this week
really
I was
word.
I won't tell you where I was,
Right, okay.
but I was at a very prestigious university in Lincoln. No, there was a woman there on the course, and I took an instant liking to her. Absolutely, she just had something about her. I like you, and she was stimming like crazy.
Yeah.
And I said, "Do you mind me asking, are you ADHD?" Because it was an ADHD course for a start.
Well, yeah.
And so she said, and I still shouldn't ask, but I do. And she went, "No," she said, "I just do this thing." And she said, "If I am, it's certainly not bothering me." And I thought, that's kind of nice. But what was really funny, though, not related to your question, was, first of all, I wasn't embarrassed, and secondly, she said to me, I was working in a school, and she said, and they told me to stop stimming because it was unprofessional.
Oh wow.
That's like, that's 10 steps. 10 steps ahead of your friend. Your friend was trying to be friendly and connect with you. This is like, absolutely, what?
That's awful.
Yeah, it's really rotten, isn't it?
Yes.
And she not only that, she's a very pleasant, delicate soul. When I say pleasant, I mean it in the true meaning of the word. And quite a delicate soul, or to my kind of impression that I got of her. I thought people don't need that. People do not need it.
No, they actually don't.
I did a talk once where a woman, I said, "I've got ADHD," and this woman pushed her handbag under her chair. So there you go.
Is it catching? Is it? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Are you going to steal my handbag?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, no. Honestly, yeah.
So we're 8 months in.
Yeah.
How's it feel now?
It feels absolutely at home.
Does it?
Yeah.
That's great.
I mean, it's been a bit of a perfect storm of a few things that have happened with me. So I can't put it down to the one thing.
Right.
I've given up drinking, as we know.
Yeah.
2 years on August 26th.
Right.
And that's a major, just taking control back.
Well, and is it worth mentioning at this point that alcohol and ADHD, the most inaccurate term I've ever heard is self-medicating. It is not medicine.
No, it's not.
No.
It's a recipe for laying awake for the rest of your life wishing that you hadn't done that thing.
It really, really is. Yeah.
It really is. Yeah. It really is. And yeah, I mean, I've had nearly 2 years, apart from one involuntary hiccup where I glugged an iced tea down. It was bought from a well-known supermarket that starts with A and rhymes with Aldi.
Okay.
And they've got a Mexican, they do different weeks. They've got a Mexican week on. And there were some little cans of agave iced tea, which is agave iced tea, Mexican. Picked up a couple of cans, got home, I was
Yeah.
having glugged it and thought that's got alcohol in it. And
Yeah.
I beat myself up, and then I thought, no, I didn't voluntarily
I have
drink.
exactly the same story, but mine was an alcohol-free Leffy, and I
Oh,
was
right.
a Leffy. It's a beer,
All right.
and I had a few alcohol-free ones, and Isaac put some normal ones in the fridge, and I
Oh,
grabbed a normal one, and same as you, beat myself up for a few hours, and went, and
yeah.
and then I actually Googled it, and the Google basically said if it's unintentional, it's not your
Yeah, it
fault,
doesn't
right?
matter, does it? I
No.
mean, I looked at my sobriety like a snakes and ladders board.
Mm,
So if I, sort of drink, I'll go right back down
mm.
to one,
Oh
and
yeah.
I don't want to go that far. But it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't intentional. It could have been a trigger. It could have been. I could have thought, oh well, might as well finish the whole can
Mm,
now and have the other one and
yeah.
have a bit of, have a
Yeah.
look around the house what's in. But yeah, and the financial aspect of that. I
Mm,
mean, Chat GPT is my friend.
yeah.
AI is really scary to some people, but for an ADHD woman who has got
Mm,
grandkids and appointments and everything, Chat GPT is worth every penny
yeah.
to
Yeah.
subscribe.
Yeah.
And we worked out that on $6.99, which is a fairly frugal bottle of wine. It's a cheap bottle of wine per night, and that's not the G&Ts, on a Friday, the
Yeah.
cocktails and the tins of gin. I've saved over £9,000
Right.
since August 2 years ago. I mean, that's
Mm.
amazing.
That is, isn't it? And of
Yeah.
course, my immediate thoughts is you spend that on records, don't you?
Well, my immediate thought was to spend it on Mount Jaro to put in my belly to become a new me. I feel great in my head,
Yeah.
ADHD. I was overweight. I couldn't do anything about it. The doctor was stonewalling everything,
Right.
because he's not licensed for Manjaro for the weight loss drug and
Yeah.
whatever. And I knew that private
I've never
medicine.
heard of it, by the way.
Oh, well, it's an appetite suppressant. They are actually on about rolling it out as a proactive treatment of obesity
Right.
in very obese people over
Right.
the 40 BMI
Mm,
because it is so effective. The weight,
mm,
you just stop being hungry. Well, I've lost 3.5 stone,
mm. Oh,
you
okay.
know, and I went for my annual review the other day. I am off
Mm.
antidepressants. I'm off. I'm not diabetic anymore. My blood pressure is normal, and it's all down
But
to
do you mind me saying, though, you
yes,
were, when I first met you, quite an anxious person. And I'm
yes,
not suggesting you're no longer anxious, but you're managing it well.
yeah,
And it is about management, isn't it?
it is.
I mean, I consider
It really
myself
is.
with the ADHD is to be a very lucky person because I can know what's happening because I'm
Yeah,
so
yeah,
highly qualified in the field. I
yeah.
mean, there's nothing beats people who are experts by experience. Of course, there's not, but I'm that as well.
You are, yeah.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, you're a
Uh,
man of a certain age who's lived with your neurodiversity.
mm,
It makes you so hyper aware. I
yeah,
believe.
I
I
think so. I can walk in a room and I know if something's gone off.
yeah.
You know,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
So, do
yeah.
you spot ADHD people in a room?
Yes,
Do you go, that's one of my people?
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I actually, and I wish I had it to show you. I've just given one to Stevie. I had a little. I found some little brooches
Mm,
online, and it's like a little tarot card, and it's
mm,
called the ADHD. And I've
yeah,
given 3 away. One to
right.
Stevie, who I knew, and 2 more to people who I didn't know
Mm,
were ADHD, but they accepted the badge and loved it and said, "How did you know?" Do you know what I
mm,
mean?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
it's almost well, one had been diagnosed, one refused to accept it, but you know,
Mm,
yeah.
good, isn't it?
I think you can, and also, I'm just plugging this in, Andrew. This, I think also, like you say, expert by experience,
Yeah,
woman,
yeah,
mum,
yeah,
grand.
yeah, yeah.
Have I gone
Well,
dark?
so sorry.
Have I gone dark? Battery save's
No,
on. It's all right.
no, no, you're great. You're
Okay.
fantastic. No, nothing going wrong there. So the Isaac is given up. So for those who don't know, and I think most people know the whole family history, but Isaac has given up drugs and alcohol for I think just after Christmas because
Right.
he has discovered that as an ADHD person and a person with depression and a person with severe general anxiety, alcohol and drugs is a big messy
Oh,
thing for him, you know. But he's like the thing with Isaac is he's he's just not the sort of bloke that you expect to do something sensible. And he
no.
has, and he
And
has.
yeah,
I love you if you're out there listening, son, which you might well be, I'm sure. Yeah, it's all meant with true love. But, you
I
know,
know.
I mean, his ADHD has hit him, I think, quite heavily because what he did is he got his student money, started university, and spent all the money on guitars. Yeah, and now,
I did the same thing.
yeah,
Not
but
on
the
guitars.
but now he's selling those guitars for half what he paid for them. You know,
Mm.
and we gotta work with that, you know, and we gotta say, okay, I see, John, we gotta we got a bit of a
But I have to say, getting back to, there's a lot of people that do that would argue that they do not have ADHD.
yeah,
There's a few record sellers on the scene. Hang on, let me just close the door. Who buy records and then sell them back to us half price when they
yeah,
can't pay the bills.
yeah. I've been there myself. I've been there myself, you know, and I've done it. I was saying to my other son, Ruben, today, and I said, you know, I can't criticize you guys for what you spend your money on and all the rest of it. You're grown ups. I said, I can remember being unemployed on benefit, and you know, and and the money would be there, and the supermarket's there. Dave Raystrick's list, which has been around forever, is there,
Don't you blame my husband
and and it's night,
on your bad choices.
and
Yeah.
it's 1985, and there's Dean Courtney. I'll always need you. RCA, white demo, or food.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
and then
no,
you,
I'm hungry.
and then you.
Noodles are cheap.
Sorry.
Ramen.
Yeah,
All the
you
ramen.
didn't get that stuff in the 80s, though,
You
did
had
you?
pot noodles. What did we live on in the 80s? I mean, I lived in Lincoln in
Beans,
the 80s.
baked
And
beans.
yeah, beans. We used to have a little health food shop that used to serve peanut butter by the scoopful out of a barrel or something. And
Mm.
it was like, it
Did
was the.
they what was it? What was it? Oh yeah, health food shop. I used to buy the fake soya noodles. Not noodles, fake soya minced meat.
Oh, yes.
And you drop it in the boiling water
Yeah. And it
and it would
tasted like, yeah, it tasted just like nothing, didn't it?
but I convinced myself.
It was
Yeah, but
protein. TVP. It was textured vegetable protein.
was that what it was called?
Yeah, I don't know where that's come from. Yeah,
Good grief.
that's what I do as a. Well, I don't know whether it's ADHD, but
Mm.
I can suddenly bring things to mind, and suddenly I like, where the hell has that come from?
Yeah. Why have I remembered this? You
Yeah,
know, and I
why is
can't
that
remember.
taking up space in my brain?
Well,
The
I can't
theme
remember.
tune. The theme tune to Dorothy Slighthome's Farmhouse Kitchen on Yorkshire Television, 1972. Why is that in my brain today?
I have no idea. I used to have a reputation for whistling theme tunes at conferences while we were waiting for everyone to settle down.
Oh, did everybody know what they were, or did
Only
you?
people our age, but
Oh, I know.
so
I can't hear you.
so okay. Hang on, I don't know where the mic is
You
on this.
can't even whistle. There's nothing. It's not. No, all I can see is you trying to
Mm.
whistle. There's no
Okay,
sound coming out.
that's all right. We don't care. Okay.
Well, what was it?
Terry and June.
Do 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 do. No, that's
Da,
good.
da,
Good.
da, 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 da. That's you do know.
Yes.
You do know that Gordon's sitting at home going, "What's she done to my bloody podcast?"
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Gordon. Do you know this happened before? This happened before I did a radio show.
Oh, you've told me, yeah, yeah. You
Nobody
took
spoke
over,
to me.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it was entertaining. It was
Mm,
entertaining.
it was, wasn't it? Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't there, but what can you do? So also, right. So,
Yes.
interestingly enough, so you've had your diagnosis,
Mm.
8 months. Has it brought anything up? So, for example, when I had my diagnosis, yeah,
Yeah.
the first thing I realized was I got auditory processing disorder.
Right.
So what happened was I was like, oh, and I'd put this down to drinking alcohol that that my hearing wasn't great. I'd put it down to all sorts of things. I thought, okay, this hearing problem is part of my ADHD, and now I know it's actual auditory processing disorder.
Right. Hang on. Are you? I've always struggled. I have to have subtitles on. It's not hearing
Right.
the how loud people are talking. It's making out what they're saying. And I can
Intonation.
never
Yeah.
ever have. I never know song lyrics.
Mm,
Is that
mm.
anything to do with it, or am I just?
Could be. I mean, it's not about your hearing loss is not about how loud things are. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's just not. But hearing loss, for me, it's either stress related. So if I get a bit anxious about something, I can't hear.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I have these very lovely, amazing, incredible hearing aids, which,
Yes. You
which, which,
lose.
which I lose. Yeah, I've got them at the moment. I'm not wearing them, of course.
Of course you're not. You're wearing them.
Um,
You're wearing them as earrings.
yeah, but the and what they yeah, and they can detect and they alter the sound as they do something like a million calculations a minute or something like this, and they
Really?
yeah, technology, isn't it? But for
I
me,
know.
that was the first thing that came out of my
Of
uh
your
of my
diagnosis.
diagnosis that I got, oh, and now I'm spotting other things.
Yeah.
Has yours just stayed as ADHD?
No, I've sort of let some run free
Mm,
and embrace them, like
yeah,
my ability to start 16 jobs by 6:30 in the morning
yeah,
is unbelievable. I mean, I can walk around the house and it's like almost I can track where I was, what I was doing when I got
mm,
distracted by this, and I can see, all around the house. But then at 10 to 5, just before David walks through the door, I go and finish all my jobs off and pieces. But
yeah.
distraction, unbelievable.
And it's not just distraction, is it? It's hyper focus as well.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, as well.
Yeah,
I
hyper
can
focus.
lose myself.
Yeah, yeah, and that's kind of a good thing, isn't it? I had as you know, I have a radio show as you,
Yes.
and I had a few weeks ago where what I pre-record it. So I
Yeah.
pre-record it, I send it in.
I'm
Um,
coughing. Sorry.
I do pretend that I'm live. So
Of course you do. We all do.
I pre-record it, I send it in, and this one particular week, I became so hyper focused, I did five.
Really?
Yeah, and I only need one
Yeah.
a week. And that doing five was just something for me to focus on because I
Yeah.
couldn't be doing with what else was going on in the world. And but then also the hyper focus, yeah, I've been absolutely obsessively hyper focused about Trump. So
Really?
yeah,
Oh,
and I'm watching all the
well, I'm
American
not
news.
surprised. I'm not surprised you're sort of,
Well, I'm
you know,
worried. Do you know what? I'll
oh,
tell you what worried me. We had 8 teenage boys here in the garden on Saturday night.
I
Get him.
saw,
Did you see the photo? Weren't they
I
funny?
did.
Yeah.
What did you write? I just thought that is funny.
I can't remember now. I really can't remember.
No, obviously it's,
I
just
tried to
massive.
put the Boys Are Back in Town music on it, but I couldn't do it. Didn't know how.
No.
I can't remember. Let me have a look. But these boys were in the garden and they were so beautiful and they were so young and they
Oh,
were so lovely.
yeah,
And I
they've got,
thought, and there's
yeah,
that man in Washington would love nothing better than to send these boys to their deaths. Do you know what I mean?
absolutely. We spend a lot of time in America.
Yeah.
I was there the first time that Trump got voted in, and we were more well. It,
I've
it was. What did you write?
Dear Gardener's question time. What are these pink things and how can I get them out of my
That's
garden?
right. That's right. It made me laugh. It made me laugh because they all look like they could do with a good meal and a day in the sun.
Yeah, I
Bless
know.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is it bad in America?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. We'd been there when Obama was in power, and it was a fantastic country. And
yeah,
David goes even further back than that, but that's my memories,
yeah.
before then. And then when Trump got in the first time, I was out in a pub with some friends, and there were grown men crying. Seriously were, because
Yeah.
Lancaster, Pennsylvania, was one of the first places in Pennsylvania to legalise gay marriage. So a lot of gay couples came to Lancaster to get married, and it's got a massive gay population, and a lot of my friends are gay, and they are worried. They're worried that Trump is telling them it's all right to get their houses torched and to get things thrown through the letterbox.
Yeah, it's
And it's
terrible.
worried. Yeah, people
Well,
are depressed.
but it's worth also knowing that he's very anti autism, very anti-autism.
So,
Um,
yeah, pot and kettle.
yeah,
Yeah,
but and he's sort of liaising with one of the Kennedys who's claims that autism can be cured, and we've got all this stuff going on, you know. Um,
yeah.
and
Is that the Kennedy that hid their disabled daughter
that's
away?
the one, yeah, the one that
Yeah,
fixed
yeah,
them, yeah.
yeah.
And so we got all this stuff going, and it just frightens me to death because there is nothing, those little pink things in my garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would love nothing better than to send them into war.
Oh, absolutely. It's
You
cannon
know,
fodder for him.
yeah, and so it just, I looked at them and I said to Ailsa, I said, look how beautiful they are.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
just look how lovely and beautiful these boys are. If Ruben's listening to this, he'll go, Dad, shut
Stop.
up. Yeah, but
Yeah,
but that's how I kind of felt,
I know. I know. We
and
feel the same about our grandchildren.
yeah,
You just want to. You want to insulate them from it all, but
yeah,
you want to tell
and
them they don't have to put up with it as
but
well.
tell me something. Are we 10 steps ahead as ADHD people?
Yeah,
I
I
think so. I mean, I would
don't
talk.
choose to be a lot of the time, but I
No,
could be
but
if I wanted to.
yeah, well, that's what makes it worse, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's what makes it worse because you go, why is he doing that? What's that
yeah,
about? What's this about? What's that
yeah,
about? And and I think maybe because we're a minority group as well. We're a minority group, so that minority group is is aware of other minority groups in the past, you know?
yeah. But
And
we're often stigmatized for that. We're often called radicals or whatever,
yeah,
because
yeah,
we're in a minority group.
yeah.
It's not until things get, sort of commercial and accepted by the
Well,
masses that they're.
I don't know what the algorithms are like, but what I find interesting is I've been looking up Trump online,
Oh, have
yeah,
you?
on Instagram.
Right.
And alongside all the Trump footage, I've started to get Auschwitz footage as well.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm going, oh, why is
Yeah.
the algorithm doing that?
Comparisons. I mean,
I know.
the
Mm,
comparisons speak for themselves. I mean, I
yeah.
don't know enough about either, and this is
No, I
one
don't.
thing that I've had to do
Yeah.
is insulate myself
Yeah.
since we got back from America.
Yeah.
As you know, we were there recently, and
Yeah.
for the first time ever, I had to ask David to walk into a petrol station at night with me. Didn't feel safe,
Right.
and I've walked all over that country on my own, and I've been
Mm.
in situations that I probably have put myself into.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we all do it, don't we?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. But I actually got out the car, started to walk in, came back and said, "No, I need you to come in." And I've never
Mm.
felt like that before, and
No.
that tells me that either I've got it wrong or they've got it wrong.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
you know.
And it's probably not you.
Yeah, yeah,
It's probably not
exactly.
you. Gosh, isn't that something? But the other thing is as well that wanderlust for you you're always going places, aren't you? You
Do
know.
you know where we're going on Saturday?
Uh, do I guess or do I go? No. I don't know. Get some
100,
donuts on the beach.
Club.
100 Club. Now that is somewhere. Not only have I not remembered that for years, but also I haven't been there for years.
Really?
It's the longest running all nighter, isn't it?
It is. It's
Yeah.
100 Oxford Street,
Yeah, I know
London.
where it is. I know where it
Yes.
is.
Now, it was on my tick list of things that I had never done, and it was on my
Mm,
60th year tick list. And a friend called George Rodriguez
yeah.
is an American guy from, I think he's from Minneapolis. He DJs at our event in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and he's actually DJing at the 100 Club. So we're going down there, partly to support him, partly because we've never been, and I
Yeah.
really want to go. So,
Small. It's small.
eh,
It's
I like
small.
small. Is it
Yeah.
sweaty? Is it dark? Is it
Yeah.
sweaty?
It's all those things. It's all those
Is
things.
it? Well,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
it was 100 years ago.
Oh,
Um,
I will. That will be my home for.
yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Because it's, yeah. And see that as well. So I talk about my radio show, and and I know you're not always keen of the stuff I play, but
No, no, I'm getting there. I
yeah.
am.
I
But
mean, there's a lot to take on board with what I'm doing. I
oh,
understand that. But I always think it's an ADHD thing that I'm playing stuff no one else is playing. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Nobody, you know.
Nobody.
And if you look
Pioneers.
at the
We're
history of
pioneers.
if
We
you look at
are.
the history of Northern Soul, who are the people that did that? Guy Hennigan, Keb Dodge, Richard Serlin, Adam, Robin,
Good
all
chat.
those, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, all those people, and they all had people
yeah.
dissing them and giving them a hard time. I get some right snotty messages about it.
Do you?
Well, yeah, it's just kind of
Play
like,
something we know. Play
oh,
something we
yeah,
know.
I would rather stick knitting needles in my eyes than play something Buster.
I know, I know, I
And
know.
and
That's it.
so,
I
but
will, right. We have said many times what's happening is I don't know how to play Mixcloud through
your
anything.
husband has downloaded it onto his
Phone.
no, not to his phone,
Oh, onto his tablet. Yeah, but the
onto his
tablet is always
no,
at the.
no,
Oh,
Facebook. He's put it on
oh,
his
Facebook.
Facebook.
Right. But you know when he plays it on his phone,
Yeah.
right? When the wallpaper flashes up on his phone,
Mm,
it stops.
right.
We have to sort that out. That's an us
There'll be a
problem, not a
setting. That's
you
a
problem.
setting, isn't it? Somewhere. That's actually a setting somewhere. I
It's a
mean, I
setting.
think it was on that one I was saying about the lovely day. I took a record in for Dave because I wasn't really sure of it and I wanted to play it. And I thought, well, it's his event. I'll take the record in. And he couldn't get it to play. And it's because I brought donuts in that morning and we got sugar all over the record.
You did sugar all over the stylus. I know.
Yeah.
I
Did you have
know.
to clean it off?
No, I didn't. I just
No.
got another record player. We have a few. Yeah.
Oh,
Move
okay.
on.
So
Now
we had to.
I do have something for you here that I was supposed to take to Stevie, but
What can you do? Keep it
yes,
there. Keep it there. It's yeah, it's just lovely to see a sealed copy from all those years ago, isn't it?
it is.
It's
It
not
really.
worth anything. It's just nice, isn't it? It's just a nice.
No. Well, I tell you what. Yesterday, what's he done with it? Yesterday, I was putting LPs
Mm,
on Discogs, and there was a lovely LP. It was an old jazz LP, and
mm,
I said it came up at £2.99. I said I'll buy that
yeah,
for my display. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, 100%.
It's a piece of art in itself. I don't know what he's done with it. He's probably decided that I can't have it.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, it's really nice, and it was an old because I like all the Dave Brubeck
Mm,
LP covers. The
yeah,
album
yeah, yeah,
art.
yeah, yeah. I
Got
love
a
them.
display of that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh no,
not
I
all
love
about
it. Well, don't lose it, Donna. What we normally
what.
say at the end of mine and Gordon's is, but what do you think, listeners? And um,
Yeah, that's
what
enough about me. What do you think of me?
what do you think, listeners? But we haven't had a theme today at all, really,
We
have we?
haven't.
Or
Do you know
maybe
what? If this is going to be like a common thing, maybe the listeners would like to suggest, and
a
asking
theme.
questions.
Yeah, yeah. I can see me being kicked out and it just being you and Gordon.
Oh my
Donna.
gosh. No, there's room for three. There's room for
Oh,
three.
absolutely. Donna,
Absolutely.
it's
Well,
been lovely to
let's
see
say
you.
to Gordon, you know,
Yeah,
I'll keep your seat warm for you, Gordon, but,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you
We
need
won't
to
want to get rid of you at the end of this, or will we? Right, I'm gonna pause us now. Peace, love, stay out of trouble.
namaste.
Yeah, namaste. There we go. Right.